All right. It looks like we are all ready to go. It's 2 p.m. Oh, you're welcome for recording. No problem. As long as it is us putting on the program, we don't have any special performers or anything. We're more than happy to record and have this on YouTube for later. So I'm glad that this is helpful. Thank you so much for coming anyway. Raise your hand one more time if you can hear me. I just want to make sure everybody can hear me okay. Got two cameras going here. Okay. Good. All right. Welcome, everybody. I want to do a little tiny survey before we begin. Hi, Audrey. Okay. Can you please raise your hand if you have been to this program before? Raise your hand if you've come to this program before. Okay. Okay, a couple of you. Now raise your hand if this is your first time here. I know we gained a lot of new viewers recently. It's your first time. Okay, welcome. For anybody that hasn't been here yet, my name is Miss Lorena. I'm one of the librarians here at the Central Park Library in the Santa Clara City Library System. If you do not live in Santa Clara, we are in Santa Clara, California, which is right in the middle of the Silicon Valley in Northern California. Raise your hand if you're tuning in not from California. Is anybody watching from outside California today? Couple? Okay. Great. If you guys can put on the chat where you are watching from, I would love to see where you are from. And I'm really glad that you guys are enjoying our virtual programs. This is great. I want to see from New Jersey, Atascadero. Nice. You say Georgia, Houston. Wow, welcome. New Jersey and Houston. That's far. And Georgia too. All righty. So let's get started. Let's go over a couple of things. Parents, if you are watching Las Vegas, Millbrae, nice. I'm going to ask you to pull out your phone if you want to take a picture of our social media here. You can't see me. No, you won't be able to see me yet. You'll be able to see my hands once we get started on the experiments. Right now, you can't see me. Welcome from Oakland. Nice. Alrighty, so if you're interested in attending more free virtual events, you can follow us on our social media pages. It's Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. All of our programs are free to the public and open to anyone, anywhere in the world. So if you're tuning in from wherever you are, make sure you follow us on social media. That way you can see which ones we have coming up. Our next big one is going to be this Saturday at 10 a.m. We're going to have Ricky Ruin Puppet Show, and he is wonderful. He is super funny. We've had him before, so if you're interested in that, make sure you follow us on social media, or you can tune in. If you're watching on YouTube, you can tune in Saturday morning at 10 a.m. We'll get started. Okay. All right. Couple rules before we begin. For safety, as you guys know, here at the Santa Clara City Library, for the majority of our virtual programs, we do not allow participants to join in with video or audio. That is for the safety of the children and our safety. Our programs have been watched all over the world recently, so we don't know who's watching on the other end of the screen. So that's for your safety and ours as well. The chat is open. It's a pretty small program today, so I don't think we'll have an issue, but please make sure that we are not spamming the chat, or if you do start spamming, we will remove you from the webinar. So the chat is meant to be interactive with you guys, so I can ask you questions and you can ask me questions. So please make sure you're not spamming with emojis or whatever. If you have any questions, you can use the chat box or you can use the Q&A box as well. And the next team lab we have is Thursday, January 21st. Lastly, I am a librarian. Unfortunately, I am not a scientist. I cannot, maybe not, will be able to answer all your questions regarding these experiments. These are just for fun, for you to try fun stuff at home. These are all very, very cheap to do at home. There's some stuff from stuff you have all over your house. So if you don't have what you need to do the experiments today, not a problem. Like I said, we are recording on YouTube as well. So if you want to go back and watch us later so you can try these with your supplies, you're more than welcome to. If you have any ideas on why the things are happening, why the chemicals reactions are occurring as they are happening, you can let me know in the chat and we can talk about it all together. And finally, parents, I please need you to stay with your children at all times. These experiments are recommended for ages 7 and up. If you have little ones, some of them are suitable for a younger ones, some of them are not, but just to be safe, we always put the disclaimer for 7 and up. Obviously, you know your children better than we do, so the discretion is up to you. Just make sure you are supervising them at all times. And that is enough talking. How about we raise our hands if we want to get started? Raise your hands. Good. Okay, we're ready to go. So I'm going to share my screen, and then you will be able to see my hands in just a second here. Oh, finally, thank you to the Santa Clara City Library Foundation and Friends for making all of our virtual events possible. Like I said, we are being watched now all over the world. So thank you so much to the Santa Clara City Library Foundation and Friends for being able to give us that option and streaming that to everyone in the world. So let's get started. Our first experiment is the Fizzing candy canes. Now, I want you to raise your hand if you actually have what we need for today's experiments. Raise your hand if you got it ahead of time. Oh, good. There's a lot of you. Okay. So a lot of you are going to try this with me as we go. Again, if you don't have what we need, it's not a problem. This is being recorded. You can watch it later and try it. You can stick around and watch what happens. So for this first experiment called Fizzing candy canes, you're going to need candy canes, baking soda, vinegar, a tray or cutting board, pipettes or an eyedropper, a spoon, and a small cup. So I'm going to get all my stuff ready. I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes to get your stuff as well, okay? So go ahead and grab everything that you need, everything that's on the screen. I'm going to get ready as well. I'm going to turn on the camera so you can see. Raise your hand if you can see the science cam. Should be a little square at the top. Okay, good. And once we start the experiment, I'll stop sharing my screen so you'll be able to see the camera full screen, okay? Just get all the stuff that we need. I need one more cup. All right, everyone, raise your hand if you have everything that you need for this experiment. If you're ready to go. You guys are ready? Okay. Stop sharing the screen. Now you should be able to see me in the camera. Hi. You see my hand? Hi. And oh, well, something I forgot to mention. With these experiments, you want to make sure you're wearing something that you don't absolutely adore and want to get dirty, because you might get dirty with these experiments. Just in case, make sure you're wearing a shirt that you're okay with messing up a little bit. Also, if you have any jewelry, parents, I'm going to remove mine just in case. Okay. Let me check in on YouTube really quick to make sure they're doing okay as well over there. Looks like we are. Hi, YouTube. I see you guys too. I'll be periodically checking in on YouTube, but mostly I can see the Zoom screen, okay? All right, so the first thing we're gonna do, raise your hand if you have candy canes. Raise your hand. Do you have candy canes? Okay, a couple of you do. All right, so this experiment is what we're gonna do is we're gonna cover these candy canes in baking soda, and then we're gonna add the vinegar with the pipette, and we're gonna see the reaction that it causes. So let me make sure this is aiming here. Well, I'm gonna move this a little bit. Sorry for the noise. Okay, that's good. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I asked you for a small cup, right? With the small cup, I have this little container here. Same thing with the small cup. I want you to fill this up with water, okay? Okay, now you see my container full of water here. What we're gonna do, we're gonna take these out. There's quite a few ways that you can do this actually. So one of the ways that you can do this is cover this whole tray in baking soda, which is what we're gonna do right now. Or you can dip these in the water and then dip them in the baking soda and then put them here. But I'm actually gonna add baking soda to the whole thing, and I put this purple cutting board underneath so you guys could see the reaction well. So I'm gonna actually just pour the baking soda in here. That way you guys can see the reaction all the way. You can try this a lot of different ways too. Let's see, has anybody tried this experiment before? Raise your hand if you've done this one before. A few? Oh, okay, good. This is my first time trying it. Actually, I'm really excited about this one because I did not get to try this one. I tried all the other ones. I didn't have any baking soda at home. Okay. It's going to be a little bit stinky, so be careful, especially with vinegar. All right. Now that we have this covered in baking soda, I'm going to tap it a little bit on the counter so it evens out. There we go. And so we're going to dip these in water. What I'm going to do, because I have the little ones, it depends on what kind of candy canes you have. I have these little ones. I'm going to pour them all in here. And this is just water, right? And what this is going to do, we're not going to leave them in there very long because then the color will start coming off. So this is just going to make them wet so that the baking soda sticks to it. And once you put it in there, you want to roll it around like that. I'm going to pour all of them in here and roll them around a little bit. Or you could even pour more baking soda on top of them if you want. Make sure you have some paper towels. And remember that after all the experiments that we do today, you wash your hands very thoroughly before you eat or touch your face or anything like that, okay? Okay, raise your hand if you're doing okay. Are you following along okay? We're good? Good. Okay. And if you're new here, this program will probably take anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes. Sometimes we go over. A lot of the time we go over and we go to an hour, but I'm going to try to cut it short today, I promise. All right. Before we do the next step, let me check in on my friends on YouTube. Jackie. I love you too, Jackie. Our librarian Jackie's leaving me very nice comments on YouTube. She is so nice. Okay, raise your hand if you're ready for the next step. Raise your hand. We're ready? Okay, good. All right, now the next thing you want to do you guys have vinegar? Raise your hand if you have some vinegar at home. You get some vinegar? Okay, great. Now, in the small cup that you had, you want to pour this out. Okay, pour it all the way out. And now you are going to fill this up with vinegar. Just a little bit, not too much. And you're not going to pour this out because you're going to need it later. So pour it a little bit. That's good. Okay. And raise your hand if you got a pipette or an eyedropper. Raise your hand if you have one of these. You do have one, great. These are super, super cheap. They're super handy for science experiments. If you don't have this at home, you could also use a straw, but that's a little trickier. Okay, so now what you're gonna do is you're gonna dip the pipette in here and you're going to squish the top so you can grab some of the vinegar inside the container. And see now, you see it? Now it's full. Okay, raise your hand if you're ready to watch your reaction. Raise your hand, raise your hand. Are we ready? Little by little? Okay, looks like we're ready. All right, let's see what happens. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Now they'll start fizzing. Looks like only for a little bit, but that's fine. The more baking soda there is around it, the more it'll fit. So the ones that are up here will fizz a little bit longer. There you go. That's a good one. There you go. See? So it looks like we have to have a lot of baking soda around it. So for this last one, I'm going to make sure it's like on a little pile of snow of baking soda. I'm going to cover it. Let's see if we can uncover it. Ready? Do you guys think we'll be able to dig it out? Raise your hand. Will we be able to dig it out with baking soda? I think so too. Let me get some more in here. Okay, let's see. Ready? Very nice. Good job, you guys. So this one's pretty easy, very simple. We have another one with baking soda coming up. So it's just a fun, easy one. Especially if you have little ones younger than 7, you could definitely do this one with younger children. Again, just make sure you are washing them at all times. Okay. Let's see if you're doing your own one. That's totally fine. All right. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next experiments. Raise your hand if you tried this one. Did you like it? You can tell me in the chat. That one was pretty simple, very easy. Good job. All right, we're gonna move on to our next one. So our next one, let's see. I'm gonna share my screen again. There we go. Okay. Our next one is going to be the snowstorm in a jar. This one is super, super fun. We tried doing this one, I believe, back in June when we did our Pride experiments. We did a rainbow one and it was so fun. So we're gonna do it again today. For this one, you're gonna need 1/4 cup of water, 1.5 cups of baby oil, white paint, blue food coloring. The food coloring is optional. I put it at the bottom. Alka-Seltzer tablets or effervescent tablets and glitter. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys a few minutes to grab all that stuff. And I'm gonna clean up for a second so we can move on to the next one. Okay, it looks like we're ready. Let me check in on the chat. For this one, oh yeah, I'm so sorry. It doesn't include the baby oil. Yes, you have to use baby oil. If you don't have baby oil, you could use regular vegetable oil or any kind of oil that you have at home. If you have like coconut oil or avocado oil, the baby oil is preferable. Coconut oil as well, but that one's more expensive. That is because it is clear. So let me turn on the video one more time, and I'm gonna turn this off. So yes, if you don't have that stuff, I would just recommend waiting for the white one if you have it for the clear one, or if you use the yellow one, it's the same reaction, but it looks better with the clear one. But you could try both ways if you want. Instead of Alka-Seltzer tablets, I don't know of anything that can replace it, unfortunately, off the top of my head right now. Although recipes I've looked at for this experiment required the Alka-Seltzer tablets or any effervescent tablets. There's another brand that I found at CVS that's a little bit cheaper. This one is the same thing. But yeah, you do need some sort of effervescent tablet for this one. All right, let me check in on YouTube real quick. Miss Jackie is with us doing all the experiments. That's awesome. All right, let's get started. So raise your hand if you're ready. Do you have everything you need? Raise your hand. Okay, looks like we're good. All right, so for this one, we're gonna need, I think we have some measurements. So let me share the screen one more time. Just to make sure you got the correct measurements. Looks like we need 1/4 of a cup of water and 1.5 cups of baby oil. Oh yeah, it's in there. Okay, good. White paint, blue food coloring, Alka-Seltzer tablets with glitter. Okay, so let's get our 1/4 of a cup of water and 1.5 cups of baby oil. So with this one, you want to start with the baby oil first. I don't have a jar. I got this big flower holder thing. I forget what those are called, but vase. Let me move this up. Okay, that's good. I have this big vase so that you guys can see the reaction a little bit better. And you're not gonna need to see it past it, so I'm gonna get it a little bit closer. Okay, that's better. So For this one, we want to do the water first, okay? I have two different stem cups, two different measuring cups, just because it's easier for me to keep track of what I'm using and which one. If you don't have two different ones, no worries, but I do want to emphasize that whatever you're using for these experiments that you do not use again. So whatever jar or cup or measuring cup that you have at home, if you can, just be really careful if you plan on using them again. Just make sure that you don't add anything that is toxic, parents. I like to have separate ones just in case. These are the ones that we only use for science and not for cooking. Okay, so let's get our, what was it, 1.5 cups of baby oil. So as you can see, this one measures up to 2 cups. So I'm going to fill it up to here. Make sure you can see everything I'm doing. I had this leftover one, so I'm gonna finish this one. And baby oil smells super good. Vinegar, not so much. So I'm glad we're using baby oil today. You need to see the ingredients one more time? Okay, let me share the screen again. There you go. I'm gonna leave that up for a few more minutes, okay? So make sure you take a picture or a screenshot or write it down, whatever you need to do. Use this one. Gonna be a while. If you're using a jar, I feel like the 1.5 cups is a little excessive. That's a lot of baby oil. So you can probably just do 1 cup. You all done? Okay, great. All right, so you can see I measured my 1.5 just because I have a big container. I want you guys to see the reaction. My 1.5 cups right here. Sure, I measured it properly. 1.5. Oh, right there. Okay, we're gonna pour it in here. Okay, now we're gonna add the water. So for the water, and this is why I was telling you to try and make sure you don't use this one again. So we're gonna measure 1/4 cup of water. Okay. And we're gonna pour that. Oh, before we pour it, move this to the side. We're actually gonna add a little bit of paint in here. Okay. And that's why I was asking you to not reuse this one. And we can actually use the pipette that we were using earlier to mix it. So I don't know where I put it. I have lost my pipette. So let me find something else to mix it with. 1 second. Okay, perfect. I have a little paintbrush here. And now we're going to add a little bit of paint. We don't have a measurement for this one, so just a little bit of paint to the water. This hasn't been used in a while, so make sure if you're using an old one, shake it. Maybe like that is good. And you're gonna mix, mix, mix. So then it'll be white like snow. Now, you can do the glitter in 2 ways. You can either add glitter to it now, or you can add glitter once it's in there. So what I'm gonna do just to see if it changes the way that the water goes up into the oil, I'm gonna wait and put the glitter after. So I'm gonna pour this in here now. Make sure you guys can see. The water is 1/4 cup of water. I'll type it in for you. It's 1/4 cup of water. Okay. All right, I'm gonna pour it in here. You can see it's gonna fall right to the bottom. You wanna give it a sec just so that it falls all the way down. And now it's already looking like a snowstorm. See if I can get this a little bit closer to the bottom. I'm gonna mute for a second so I can adjust my camera, okay? Okay, that's better. I want it to be close enough so you can see everything. So again, we're gonna give it a little bit for it to go down. And if it's not looking super clear, you can also add more baby oil to it. This is a pretty large container, so you shouldn't have this problem at home, but just in case, I'm gonna add a little bit more. There we go. That's better. I'll just give it a minute. And while we're waiting for that to go down and kind of settle, you want to get your effervescent tablets. So for this one, I showed you I bought these ones for a little bit cheaper at CVS. But I also have some leftovers from last time, which is actually a Sutzler, so I'll be using those today. We can actually use both because they should work the same. So we'll use one of each. Raise your hand if you're following along, okay? If you have any questions, type them in the chat. My friends on YouTube are okay? Okay. Oh, this is actually a powder. So this one is already powdered. We can try this one after. So we won't be using that one first, but we'll try it after the tablets. So once you have the tablets here, you're going to break these so that they'll last you enough to make an actual snowstorm, okay? You want to break them in fours. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll break the other one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we have 8 pieces, okay? And move this closer so you can see it right in the middle. Good. All right, raise your hand if you're ready to see the reaction. Raise your hand. Are we ready? Are you ready at home if you need more time? Oh, yes, there is a whole list of ingredients. I'm going to show you just for a minute so we can actually watch your reaction. You can take a picture or a screenshot of this, okay? Just make sure you look at it really quick. Okay, one more time. The ingredients are right there. If you can please take a screenshot or a picture, that way we can move along with the experiment. Maybe I can copy this and put it down in the chat. I think I'll do that. You got it? Okay. Looks like we're ready. All right, one moment. Let me paste this in the chat and we should be good to go. Okay. Here is the ingredients. There we go. All right, are we ready? Raise your hand if you're ready. Ready. Looks like so. Okay, good. All right, now we're gonna add the Alka-Seltzer tablets and see what happens. Just trying to move a little bit. There we go. And you got your snowstorm. Oh, I forgot the glitter. Let's add the glitter really quick. I'm gonna have to stir that in too. And it's going. You got your snowstorm in a jar. Here we go. And so we add more of this, the faster it'll go. So the more you add at the same time, the faster the snowstorm will go. And so this can also be considered a do-it-yourself lava lamp. That's how we did it last time in June. We did a rainbow lava lamp, I believe. So You can do this in many different colors. Like I said, the food coloring was optional. So if you want to have it in a different color, I kind of wanted to resemble snow. So that's why I chose white, but you can do it in whatever color you want. Now we have this one that we bought as well. This guy. And this is actually powdered. So I'm just going to pour it all in and see what happens because I'm curious. This didn't do much. So you can see right here, we actually have a big, big, big thing of foam at the top. It actually just went into the foam, didn't even make it all the way down. So I'm glad we had those tablets because the powder did not work. Raise your hand if it worked for you at home. Raise your hand. Good. If it didn't work for you at home for some reason, you can let me know in the chat. And we can always, as you guys know, if you've been here before, a lot of the time our experiments fail. And then sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So it's always good to try. If something doesn't work, just make sure you try again. Try different things, and that way you can make your own experiments from home, okay? And again, please keep an eye out on your children. Make sure we're not spamming the chat. All right, who's ready to move on to the next one? Raise your hand. Are we ready for the next one? We got 2 more. No problem. That's okay, I figured. Raise your hand, raise your hand. Okay, we're ready for the next one. If you need more time, let me know. It doesn't have to be white. No, you could do whatever color you want. You could even do just without the paint. I wanted it to be snowy, so that's why I chose the paint. But no, you could be whatever color you want it to be. All right, let's move on to the next one. Before we start the next one, I want to tell you, if you've been here before, you know that I really, really, really don't like balloons. I am really scared of balloons. I know it sounds silly, and I'm old. I'm 30. So I'm way too old to be scared of balloons, but I am. So for this next experiment, it's called the Exploding Snowman. I just want to let you know that I'm terrified for what we're going to do right now, but it's going to be really fun for you guys at home. So make sure you try it very safely. Okay. I'm glad you're having fun. Thank you so much. All right. For the next one, it's called the Exploding Snowman. I'm not looking forward to it, but I'll do it for you because I love you guys very much. The next one is the Exploding Snowman. So this one, you're going to need let me turn off the camera here. Okay, for this one, you're going to need a 1/2 cup of vinegar. Again, you're going to need a spoon, a baking soda, a resealable sandwich bag, and permanent marker. So I'm going to go get all those things. I'm going to mute myself for a little bit. And I'm going to give you guys some time to gather your stuff. I'm going to clean up as well. All right, everybody, are you guys doing okay? Raise your hand if we're ready to start. Do you have everything you need? A couple of you? Okay, we're good. Okay, so I have to move some stuff around. You'll see why. And stop sharing the screen. Okay, good. I'm glad you guys are ready. Okay, stop sharing the screen. I'm going to turn on the camera. That's a little further away. Okay, so now you're going to see the sink, our glorious sink here in youth services at the Santa Clara City Library. And that is because basically what's going to happen is that this bag right here is going to explode. I'm not excited for it. I'm not ready for it, like I said, but I'll do it for you. So parents, if you are at home watching this, make sure you are doing this in a sink. This bag will explode. I'm kind of scared for this getting in my phone. The camera here is my phone. So I hope that it doesn't explode too crazy. We'll see. So first thing we're going to do, I'm going to move this back so you can see what we're going to do before it. So you have your sandwich bag right here. Raise your hand if you got your sandwich bag ready. Raise your hand. Okay, we're good. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to take those permanent markers that you asked to do. If you don't have permanent markers, you can also use just regular Crayola markers. The permanent ones are better just because it stays on the bag as soon as you draw on it. But it doesn't have to be. You also don't have to draw anything on it. This is totally optional. I'm going to draw a snowman today because this is a holiday STEAM lab. But we don't have to draw that. You can draw whatever you want. So I'm going to draw a little snowman here. Just checking in on everybody, making sure that everyone's following okay, and checking on YouTube. I'm nervous. I'm scared. I don't like exploding things. I don't like loud noises, but oh well, I'll do it. Okay. So now we're going to draw an eye right here. There's one eye. We're going to draw the other eye. Right there. Now we're going to do the mouth. We'll do 1, 2. This is not a great Sharpie. I think I have a better one. Let me go grab it. I have this industrial Sharpie. Okay, I'm getting some questions in. You love water balloons. I love water balloons too. And whoever joined late, yes, this is actually being recorded on YouTube, so you can head to YouTube and watch this later. On our YouTube channel, you can search City of Santa Clara Library. You'll find it there. I like water balloons because they don't explode. Or when they do explode, they don't make a noise. This is my industrial Sharpie. Let's try that again. There we go. That's better. Much better. This is not, I'm also not an artist, as you can tell. That's okay. Okay, now we have a very creepy looking bag. We're gonna add a nose. With this big Sharpie, I had to let it dry for a couple of seconds or it's gonna get everywhere. So if you're drawing something different on your bag, let me know. I would like to know what you're drawing. I'm gonna add the nose. Carrot nose. There we go. All right. I'm starting to freak out now because I really don't like explosions. You added eyebrows and a scarf. Very nice. I should add eyebrows to mine too. Let's see. Just make him look nice. Or should he be angry? Raise your hand if you want him to be angry. Because he's going to explode, you know. No? Okay. Raise your hand if you want him to be nice. Actually, angry got more votes. Nope. Just kidding. Nice got more votes. Okay. That's fine. We can do a happy, kind snowman. Nobody wants to be angry. There we go. Very nice. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add 1 cup of vinegar. So remember the vinegar we had earlier that I told you not to throw away? I have it right here. There's my pipette. I knew it was somewhere. So that one, we're actually going to reuse the vinegar we poured it earlier, if you still have it. we try to be very resourceful here at the Santa Clara City Library. So if you still have it, try to reuse it. Okay, so I'm gonna pour it, and we need, I believe we need half a cup. Let me just check. Yeah, we need half a cup of vinegar, okay? And now I'm gonna move this over here now so you can see what's gonna happen. Make sure you can see. Okay. And checking in all the questions. Make sure we're doing okay. Okay. All right. So now we're gonna add half a cup of vinegar. I'm still measuring it to our bag. Okay. So here's my bag. See it? I'm very nervous. I cannot say that enough. And you're gonna kind of let it sit there. So that's good. So what we're gonna do next, parents, this is where you have to be very, very careful. So we're gonna add a huge spoonful of vinegar, and then we're gonna close it super fast. So I'm gonna practice closing it just to make sure I got it like that. Okay, so if you want to practice closing it, and then I'm gonna run away so you won't be able to hear me for a little bit. If you don't want to see it, that's fine. You can exit the webinar if you want, or you can mute it, go do something else, and then come back in about 5 minutes. It'll be over by then. I also don't want to see. So again, if you don't want to join, if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to. You can leave it anytime. But it is going to explode, so I'm just giving you a heads up. Okay, are we ready? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if we're ready. Are you excited? Raise your hand if you're excited to see what happens. I knew you guys would be. Good. I'm glad for something. Okay, we're going to add this huge spoonful of baking soda, and then I'm going to run away. Okay, so I'm sorry to leave you for just a little bit. Again, if you're just watching at home, you don't have to try this if you don't want to. I figured a lot of you guys would have fun doing this. My niece had a great time. She is 9. She tried this and she had a great time. All right, here's a huge spoonful of baking soda. And it might or might not explode. It really just depends. Ready? Oh, well, that was not scary. That was so quiet. You guys want to try it again? Raise your hand if you want to do it again. You want to do it one more time? Okay, we can do it one more time. That was very quiet. I thought it was going to be a lot worse. Okay, let's pour this out. And you can reuse the same bag over and over again, or you can make a new one, whatever you want to do. Let's see how much vinegar I have left, and we'll try it with what I have left. Did you try it at home? Raise your hand if you tried it at home. I think maybe you're still trying at home. That was not nearly as scary as I thought it was going to be. We're actually going to use the same bag, so no worries there. We're going to use the same bag, and I'm going to do half a cup of vinegar. Maybe this time I'm going to try to add more baking soda and see if it explodes more. I think it will. Maybe I did it too late because I was scared, but now I'm not that scared. Okay. See, it's fizzing a little bit. Let me see if I have a bigger spoon. I have a bigger container just to pour it in. Okay. Let's try this one more time. Shall we? Raise your hand if you want to see it again. Raise your hand. Everybody wants to see it one more time. Okay. And if you're trying it at home, let me know how it went. Okay. Okay. I'm going to try. Let me try to find a bigger spoon. Okay, this one's bigger. So now we're going to try a bigger spoon. This is more baking soda than the first time. We'll see how it goes. See it? There's a lot more. Ready? Raise your hand. Are we ready? Looks like we're ready. Okay. See how it goes. That was so lame. That did not work out. Okay, one more time. Last one because I don't have enough vinegar. Last time. I didn't seal it all the way. This is why you try and try until it works. Let's try one more time. Ready? Vinegar. It's still fizzing. I think it's because it's wet. Let me try to close it. I got scared. That's the problem, is that I get scared. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to open it a little bit like this and pour it in there, and then I'm going to run away. See what happens. Okay, let's see. I can't do it. I'll try again. One more baking soda. Ready? Okay, one more. I'm gonna make it explode. Now I'm determined. I think it's because we're using the same bag over and over again. I think it is. All right, well, that's it for the baking soda and the vinegar. Raise your hand if you tried it at home. I'm going to try this again later, make sure that it works. Did you try it at home? If you did try it at home, let me know how it went. Now we know that we can't reuse the same bag over and over because it won't seal again. So we're running out of time here. We have one more experiment. Otherwise, I would do it one more time until it works. But for our last one, let me share my screen. Small pop and split the bag on the side. Wow, really? See, you guys did it right. It's because I got scared. Good job. Let me know in the comments if it worked out for you or not. Last one, and this is my favorite one, is going to be our soft snow experiment. This one is super easy and it's tons of fun to play with. It's basically you are going to be making your own snow. So for this one, I asked you to get a half a cup of conditioner and 3 cups of baking soda. So yours really exploded, really? That's awesome. Did you use a bigger bag maybe? Is that why yours really exploded? Okay. It was fun seeing it explode. It was so small. I'm sorry. I thought it was going to be a lot more intense than that. But that's okay. Again, these are science experiments that you can do over and over. Everything that you need is very, very cheap. So if you weren't satisfied with my tiny, tiny explosion, you can try this at home as well. And if you already did fix, no, that's great. So for everybody that has not done it, we're going to do it. If you have done this already, you don't have to stick around. You can go if you like. So I'm going to clean up and we're going to get to our last one. We have about 10 minutes left. From my friends asking, you can build a snowman with this type of snow that we're making. Yes, it's going to be super, super fun. So thank you to everybody that came and is now leaving. Thank you so much for coming. I'm glad everybody that's coming to that you're having a good time. I'm glad you're having a great time. All right, we're going to get our stuff here. You're going to need half a cup of conditioner and 3 cups of baking soda. Raise your hand if you're ready to start. Last one. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Are we ready? Okay. So half a cup of conditioner, 3 cups of baking soda. I'm going to start the video one more time. It's going to be very soft and it's going to smell really, really good. So I like, as you guys know, I like cleaning as I go and then reusing all the same dishes I was already using. So if you're at home, make sure you're helping your parents clean up. This is a lot of dishes that we're using and we're making a big, big mess just so we can have fun. So make sure you are helping your parents too. Raise your hand if you're going to help your parents clean up. Raise your hand. Good. A few of you. Great. Awesome. All right. Last one. So we need, again, we're going to need half a cup of conditioner and 3 cups of baking soda. And this is really, really simple. All you need to do is measure out your conditioner. I got my cup right here one more time. And I'm going to pour in some conditioner in here. It's going to be very soft. You're right. Very, very soft. It's going to smell great. Okay, so half a cup of conditioner. I think I did more than half a cup. Let's see. Yep, that's a lot more. Put some back. Yeah, that's okay. I measured a little bit more, so I'm just gonna have to add a little bit more baking soda. And then for this one, I'll make sure that wherever you're pouring your baking soda, that it's all the way dry. Otherwise, it's gonna stick to the container pretty good. Okay. Ready? Raise your hand if we're ready. Are we ready? Okay, we're ready. The recipe is only a half a cup of conditioner and 3 cups of baking soda. I'll type it in. Half a cup conditioner and then 3 cups baking soda. And that's all you will need. Check it on YouTube. Miss Jackie hyping me up all the way. I'm so grateful for Miss Jackie all the time. Okay, ready? We're gonna put this in here. It smells so good. This is just, in case you're wondering which one I used, it's just this one, Tresemme. I can't tell if you can see. Zoom is blocking my screen. You see it okay? Tresemme, there you go. It's just the cheapest one I found. You can also buy a container of conditioner, of any type of conditioner at the dollar store. It also doesn't have to be white, it can be any color conditioner. And I'm gonna add some glitter just cause it's gonna look pretty. I'm gonna add some glitter here. And now we're gonna add our baking soda. 3 cups. This one is 2 cups. It measures top 2 cups, so that's why I'm pouring in so much. Okay, 2 cups of baking soda. And you don't want to do the whole thing, so do a little bit, and then you're going to start mixing it with your hands. It's going to be very sticky, because that way you're going to get it to the consistency that you want. You want to make sure you don't pour it all at once. Otherwise, it's going to be really messy. Little by little. Thank you so much for coming. If you don't have the ingredients, that's fine. You can watch this later, or you can just stick around to watch. Like I said, this is being recorded, so you can head over to our YouTube channel whenever you do have all the stuff and do it again. And watch my bag not explode as many times as you want. Thank you so much, Audrey. Thank you for coming. All right, now we're going to add some more baking soda. And you can feel it's going to start forming. If you haven't been here before, we do slime labs, I think every couple months or so. So January, we're going to do a winter slime lab. And those require us to be very meticulous with how we're mixing things. So if you're interested, come by, follow us on social media, and you can be aware of when that's happening. That's going to be the second to last Thursday in January, I believe. It's going to be winter slimes. It's going to be super fun. The snow, I don't know. I think it can last for some days. I'm pretty sure. Just, again, make sure that when you're done playing with the stuff that you wash your hands thoroughly, because this is a lot of chemicals here that you don't want in your mouth when you're eating or touching your face or whatever. Keep mixing, keep mixing. And now it's starting to look and feel like snow, and it smells so good. And you can add food coloring to this if you want and turn it into a different color. That's fine. Okay, we're almost done. So that was 2 cups. I'm going to measure my last cup of baking soda. I think it's the rest of it. Yeah, just about. I think it's a little bit less, but that should work. All right. We're going to mix, mix, mix. Your hands will get pretty dirty. So again, make sure you're using a tray. Make sure you're nowhere where you can get the carpet dirty or your clothes dirty. If you are going to get your clothes dirty, make sure that it's a shirt that you don't really care for, not your favorite shirt. Okay, last bit of baking soda here. I might need a little bit more. It's still not all the way not sticky, so I might have to go get some more from the cabinet. Oh, actually, it's okay. All right, and now you can see it starting to form. And you have your very own snow. You can play with this for hours and hours and hours and hours. If you live somewhere where it doesn't snow like me, I live in California, so it doesn't snow here. I've only been to the snow once in my whole life, and it was so fun. But I haven't been able to go back. So if you live somewhere where it doesn't snow, this is a great way to try and experience snow. It feels similar, not all the way snow, real snow. It's very, very cold, as you know. But it'll do for now if you live somewhere tropical. All right, raise your hand if it's working for you. Raise your hand. Did it work for you? Okay, good. Looks like it worked for most of our friends. And so with this, there was a question earlier if you can use this to make a snowman, and you totally can. This is very dense, so you could definitely, we could try to build a snowman right now, see what happens. Let's see. Definitely don't want to throw this around your house for sure. Trying to have a snowball fight, but you can make a little snowman in your tray. There's one. I don't have anything for the eyes. I didn't think about this before, but that's okay. Maybe I can. I think I have some buttons. I'll go grab those so we can make a snowman. If you have buttons at home, you can pull out some buttons and add eyes and nose. If you have a baby carrot, maybe laying around somewhere. That's my my tiny, tiny snowman. He's very short. Let's make him bigger. This is going to be the body. If anybody here plays the game Animal Crossing on your Nintendo Switch, it's a season to make snow boys right now, they're called. I play Animal Crossing. And you actually get ranked on how perfect your snowman is every time. It's very difficult to get the perfect one, so this is good practice. Okay. This is snowman. Does he look a little better? He does. I feel like the head's too big. Put him right here so you can see. Okay, I'm gonna go get some buttons really fast, and then we'll finish our snowman. See what we can do for a snowman. Okay, I brought some stuff for our last snowman. Yes, the class is over, so you're ready to go. If you need to go, go ahead and go. Thank you so much for coming. I was going to finish the snowman, and then we are all done. I'm going to put a smile right here. Hope you can see it. And I didn't find any buttons, but I have googly eyes. So I'm going to give him some googly eyes. Let's see. There he is. He is hilarious. All right, you guys, that's all for STEM Lab today. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask in the Q&A, or you can ask me on YouTube. Looks like, yes, don't make snowballs. Don't throw them at anything. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. Thank you for joining. I hope you have fun with the snow. If you tried any of the experiments and you took some pictures, you can email them to me. I will put my email in the chat. Thank you so much for coming. All right, everybody. If you took some pictures of anything you were doing, you can email me. Thank you. Have a great day, everybody. I'm going to check on YouTube. Thank you, Miss Jackie, for being here and watching us. Thank you to my friends on YouTube. There's quite a few that you have been watching the entire time. So thank you so much for watching. Again, follow us on social media if you want more free online programs. I'm glad you had a good time. I'm going to end the webinar. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Bye.